With Xbox's current marketing strategy, their biggest push has been letting you know that pretty much anything that you game on at this point is an Xbox, whether it's your phone, your tablet, whatever kind of computer you have. It even seems like things like your toaster or refrigerator could be an Xbox if you listen to Microsoft. And that's the thing that we're going to talk about in this video, where I actually went into my living room and tried to replace my Xbox with actually a Fire Stick to see if that actually works. And make sure you guys actually stay to the end of the video, because this actually may surprise you of the outcome. I was a little shocked myself. Now, like I said, Microsoft for like over a year now has been giving us the option to play Xbox games pretty much anywhere. I mean, we're at the point now where you can play Xbox games on a Switch or a PlayStation 5, which I know that's probably striking a nerve for a lot of people, but that's just the reality that we live in. And like it or not, Xbox is now becoming very accessible to a lot of different people. I wanted to give it a try, and I actually tried it when Madden 2025 came out to Xbox Game Pass. Now, I'm not a huge Madden fan. I used to be a bigger fan when I was younger, but over the years, Madden just got really stale for me, and I just did not want to pay the $70 or however much it costs now. So when I seen it come to Game Pass, I was like, okay, cool, let me just stream it, see how well it works, and I can decide if I actually want to install it on my system or not. And that was originally Xbox's marketing, was that you had this cloud feature so you can try out games and see how it ran pretty much before you actually went and did this whole install. What surprised me was when I actually started to play Madden, it actually ran very smoothly. At some points in times, I actually forgot that I was actually streaming over the cloud because of how well it looked. Now, granted, I'm in the living room, across the room, actually looking at my televisions. After staring at a TV for I don't even know how long, eventually all that resolution starts to blur away in the background. But I actually was enjoying my experience. But the thing was, I wanted to see if I could make it even better. And when I first started playing, I actually forgot, but then it hit me later. I was like, oh wait, I actually have adapter so I can actually hook an Ethernet cord up to my Fire Stick and get a better quality experience. So that's what I did. I actually went and got a Cat 6 cable, ran it from my modem right into the back of my Fire Stick, and it actually did improve a lot of different things. Now, ultimately, here's the thing. When you're dealing with streaming, especially in this day and age, you're still going to deal with certain things like input lag. That's still a huge thing. And for those who don't know, input lag is from the rate it takes you actually press the button for actually to happen on the screen. And you're going to get that a lot more when you're dealing with cloud streaming than if you're just playing regular Bluetooth with, you know, you're controlling your hand to your system. And so obviously I'm still getting that. I went ahead and started up COD just to see if it was playable. And I will say, to my surprise, it actually was playable. Still wouldn't suggest it because you're playing against people with high refresh rates, high quality computers that they're using, or just game systems. And they're going to demolish you regardless. So I still wouldn't suggest that. But when I went to actually play some other like more story-based games, single-player games, or even games that had a PvE experience, it actually seemed to be a lot better. Games like Baldur's Gate or Cyberpunk is actually kind of more so perfect for this type of environment because the response time isn't super important in certain games. Now, yes, I know Cyberpunk is like a first-person game and it does require more faster paced input, but it's not something on the lines of Call of Duty where you're battling your speed versus another actual human speed. So it actually makes it a lot more easier when playing something like Cyberpunk. I actually played through a list of different games, and every game for the most part, I kept getting the same experience. Now here's going to be the thing too. This is definitely going to be based off of your area where you're located at and what your internet speeds are. Some people are going to have better internet speeds than others, and some people are going to have more congestion based on where they are. For me personally, in the area that I live in, I have relatively high speeds and I don't deal with a lot of bottleneck or high congestion. Now here's the other thing too. Microsoft just released, it was about late last year, the option to be able to play games that you purchase and stream them to your devices. So again, games like Baldur's Gate, which I do own on Xbox, games like, or I should say I own a license to it, who owns games anymore, or games like Cyberpunk, which I also own a license to, I was able to just stream that to my device, hence why I was able to test it. I guess I should have probably said that earlier. And that is pretty much a phenomenal feature. I really hope companies like PlayStation jump on the bandwagon soon with this, but having the option to be able to buy a game and then stream it to literally anything that you want is actually phenomenal. It made a video like this a little bit easier. Also being able to play games like Warhammer Space Marines 2 was also, I was able to stream it to my device because I own that on Xbox as well. And it does encourage you to actually want to buy more games on Xbox. That's actually a relatively smart move on Xbox's part to kind of encourage people to buy games on their platform, you know. And so because of that, I was able to start going through my library of games that I haven't beaten yet, because I actually haven't beat any of those games yet. Well, I did beat Cyberpunk anyway, but it did make the process of not playing on a physical Xbox a little bit easier. Not only are all these games I just named off, do they run very well on cloud streaming because of the type of games that they are, these games also do not either run on the Xbox One or they run a very low quality version on the Xbox One. Now, the other option I did originally have was to put Xbox Series S out there. That was actually something I was heavily debating about doing. I was actually about to pull the trigger and just get one, but these things are a heck of a lot cheaper, especially for a room that wasn't gonna be the room that I'm predominantly gaming in. It was just gonna be a room casually to game in. You know, maybe I wanted to change the scenery or have friends over, but that's really what it was gonna be for. So to drop, you know, between $200 to $300 for that was kind of like, yeah, where I actually already had this, but for those who don't, this thing is about $60 and it's always on sale. You can usually get it for like 40 bucks, and the only other thing you need is a controller. I will also let you guys know that you do need to have an active Game Pass Ultimate subscription to do pretty much all these things I'm talking about. If you want to do cloud streaming or actually stream games that you do own, you are going to need to have that subscription. And if that is something that you're maybe not a big fan of, then this may not be the best option for you. I will say the one thing that you have to keep in mind is, even if you did want to put your Xbox out there in the living room, have a physical system out there, you're going to be spending somewhere between, I would say, $250 if you can get a good sale, to $500 on an actual Xbox system to put out there. Now, this is definitely not considering the PlayStation side. Some people may just want to have PlayStation console out there instead, and that's a whole nother conversation about PlayStation and their cloud streaming that we can talk about. But as far as it goes to actual, you know, replacing the whole Xbox thing, that's what you're gonna be looking at price wise. Now, at the end of the day, would I actually suggest this to anyone? Would I actually say, yeah, you should go ahead and get this over that? Personally, I actually would. The streaming quality wasn't that bad when I started to play more games on it with that Ethernet connection. If you guys are doing over Wi-Fi, it's definitely playable, but it may not be the best experience, especially depending on your connection. Now, one huge thing that a lot of people get confused is it's not always about your speed. Yes, speed is important when it comes to this, but it's also the stability of your internet connection. And if your internet connection isn't stable, that can cause a very, very bad gaming experience. So you want to make sure that whatever type of network connection that you're going to be streaming over, it's a very good and consistent connection. Definitely does have obvious issues in it. Not just the fact that it's cloud streaming, it's the fact that even though Microsoft does let you play games from my library, it is a very, very small library collection. Like, in reality, there may be like around 100 games, and I could be off with that. It could be 50 for all I know, to be honest with you, but it's not a huge library selection out of the hundreds of games that I own on Xbox alone. That's not counting my physical copies, obviously. I'm just counting digital. It's not really a lot of games that I can actually stream on here that I actually do own. Now, I'm sure Xbox is going to increase that as time goes on. I know they just added, I believe it was Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is now on there. So more and more games will get added to the service. As of right now, it's just not there. Now, who is this service really for? I'm just make it super easy for you guys. This is for the people that are Game Pass players. If you guys are really into Game Pass or just really utilize their service, then this may be a great alternative for you. And the icing on the cake being the fact that you guys can play some of the games that you own, you know, it can get streamed on here as well. This is not, in my mind, a complete replacement for a system as of yet, because of some of those things I brought up, like not being able to play your whole library of games, not having that native 4K resolution or just that high quality resolution at all. Input lag, it's still not there yet, even though we are significantly closer to that goal than we was before. Now, the ones I will say this is for the ones that maybe want to get additional Xbox, or pretty much what I did. This isn't the main room that you're going to game in, but if you want to be in another room so you can game over there or something, then you do have that option, because you can do things like cloud saves with this thing, which is so great. I was playing Avowed in my living room, then came in here, turned on my computer, and was able to pick it up, because obviously cloud saves work with this. They work with everything. Now, there's a couple other side things I do want to mention when it comes to this, because more so sticking to Xbox, so this isn't a huge thing I want to bring up, but you also have the ability to stream your PC with Steam Link to your Fire Stick, so I was able to stream my games to my living room, which actually ran very well as well. Now, as far as sticking with the Xbox side of things, the biggest thing is, can this replace a console? Can this replace your console? Like I said earlier in the video, there's a few features that you're going to be missing out on. You're not going to have that native resolution, that 4K or even that 1080p, that 1440p, whatever. You're not going to have that native resolution. It's not going to have that super sharp, crystal clear thing, because we're not there yet. Some games do look better than others. Some perform really well. and it is noticeable. And as I'm playing the game long enough, I kind of forget that I'm streaming it. If you're not a person that is constantly staring super hard at frame rates and resolution, this may be actually really great for you. There are people I know that don't care about frame rate and resolution, you know, and some people that actually can see the frame rate really bad and they can see the stuttering and they can't play games like that. So if you're those type of people, this may not be the best thing. The other thing to also keep in mind is that if you don't have the best stable connection, this may also not be an option for you. Now, if you're someone that already has Game Pass Ultimate, there's not much to lose behind using this service. I mean, like I said, you may have to just get a Fire Stick if you don't already have one, but like, who doesn't have a Fire Stick nowadays? Another cool thing too is, say for example, you go on a trip somewhere, you want to take your Xbox with you, you can literally take this and pop it in a hotel TV. As long as you have decent hotel Wi-Fi or a good hotspot connection, you can pretty much stream your games there as well. I wouldn't suggest replace your actual mainline system with this, but maybe, like I said, to put it into a different room in your house, something like that, as an additional Xbox. That's something also important. You cannot chat with this. There's no Discord, there's no Xbox party chat integrated into this app. You're gonna still need to use a third-party app as well. Now, you can use the actual on-screen text and shoot people messages back and forth. That way, you're still gonna get all your achievements, all that. But if you want to communicate with someone, you have to remember that you're gonna need another device for this. This is really great for people that do single player gaming, and again, PvE, but mostly single player. $60 to $40, and you have like a little mini Xbox that you can just put anywhere in your house. This is a pretty good deal. But comment down below, what do you guys think? Do you feel like this is something you might use in your house? Let me know that down below. And if you made it this far, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. If you got any type of value out of this, like the video or dislike it. Helps me just get a better idea of what type of content you guys are interested in. And as always, thanks so much for watching this video, and I will catch you all in the next one.